handle the truth.
My soul is possessed by the evils in the form of diamonds and Lexuses. I never prayed to God, I prayed to God. That's right, it's wicked. That's life, I live it. Ain't asking for forgiveness for my sins. Money and power is changing us, and now we're lethal, infected with the evil.
He told me and said, I got this song called The Evil. He explained it to me. And
oh my God,
yes.
that record's crazy.
He explained it to me, then he rapped the whole song on the phone.
So he had it all mapped out.
Flashes. Okay. Save me. Illuminati got my mind.
Right,
I can't die. I can't even. He said, make it go. I can't.
Gave you that?
Yeah.
He knew the samples.
Yeah.
In his song Devils. In this song, Jay-Z samples Prodigy's verse from LL Cool J's I Shot Your remix. And the line that he samples and uses for the chorus of this song says, Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me. So I mean, this song is literally saying that the Illuminati is like trying to recruit Jay-Z because he's such a powerful guy, so you know, they want his mind, soul, and his body.
Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me.
Hail Mary to the city, you're a virgin. And Jesus can't save you, life starts when the church ends. Jesus can't save you, life starts when the church ends.
Jay-Z has been quoted saying Empire State of Mind is his biggest song of all time.
Jay-Z, Empire State of Mind. I love that lyric. Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. And then his little protege, Kanye. You know, I put him on the front of Rolling Stone magazine with a crown of thorns on his head. Total blasphemy. You know, that guy's got over 20 Grammys. That's more than the Beatles, Neil Young, and Elvis put together. I mean, even I'm embarrassed by that.
Jesus Christ can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. Why do you think they all do the all-seeing eye? Why do they all do the pyramid? Why do they all do the 666? Why do they all share this in common? Because they sold their souls to the devil. Why aren't Christians doing this and this and this? Why aren't we doing it? Because the reason people do this is because it's a code. It's an instrument to show where they are. Because the enemy is trying to normalize the all-seeing eye, normalize these demonic hand signs.
We real close to the devil here. Somebody call the reverend.
You know, modern day Sinatra, so, you know, I try to live up to that, you know. I get possessed by the spirits. I get possessed by the spirits.
You killed Christ, you created religion unexpectedly. You killed Christ, you created religion unexpectedly. Gotta be the Illuminati if a nigga shine. Or it can't be a nigga if a nigga rich. Or it gotta be the devil, that's a nigga shit.
You have to understand that this man is a Freemason. Check this out. This is Jay-Z at a Freemason meeting.
In Jay-Z's song Lucifer, if you play it backwards, you hear this hidden message.
Clear as day, saying 666 murdered Jesus. Listen for yourself.
This brother has a very disturbing message in this song. I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Can I let y'all hear it? Y'all listen.
666. Murder, murder, Jesus.
666. 666. Murder, murder, Jesus. Disturbing song by Brother Jay-Z. It's a song that he actually recorded and has a backwards message in it, and we had to reverse the song and play the song backwards to get this message for you. Y'all remember back when the heavy metal folks used to do that? And they would put the backwards max messages in their music, and they'd say that your subconscious was smart enough, that right brain was smart enough to decode and flip that message, so by the time it got to the left side of your brain, you understood it, and you didn't even know you understood it. You just acted it out. Because they had the song called Another One Bites the Dust, Queen. Played it backwards, it said, I like to smoke marijuana. Yeah, and then they interviewed kids, and kids say when they listen to it, they just want to get high. They just want to smoke weed, and they had no idea that that message was being reversed in their minds and causing them to want to do that.
I'm gonna tell you guys a true story on how me and David Spade met. I was at my weekly Illuminati meeting. I was sitting next to Beyonce and Jay-Z, and all of a sudden my boy Spade walked in right after Drake walked in. I was like, yo Drake, move your little bitch ass somewhere else. I gotta talk to Spade real quick. And did some devil prayers. I sacrificed 4 goats, 3 chickens, and 1 sheep. And then we just, chopped it up, whatever. We was like, hey, be in this video, bitch. Then we went to catch and had some lobsters with chicken blood. I still have the t-shirt with the chicken blood on it. I think it's a Drake t-shirt.
And who's Sean Carter? I would just say that's the sinner. That's the sinner, and actually the businessman. That's what they call me when they want to talk business with me. Let's speak to Sean Carter today. With my partners and everybody like Def Jam or my partners, they want to talk business with me. I need to speak to Sean Carter right now, and then they know they got my attention.
Is there
on the business level.
There's a transformation?
Yeah, about 2.7 seconds, man. It's really quick, man. It's like German engineering, man.
Secret Society with Jay-Z, man. He's involved with this shit, man. He involved with that play shit. Like, see, people don't understand the science behind Satan, Lucifer.
He hangs out with one of the most famous, well-known Satanists ever.
Almost 2 years ago, Jay-Z put on a 6-hour performance piece for his Picasso Baby music video, which drew inspiration from Marina Abramovich's 2010 exhibit, The Artist is Present.
Marina Abramovic. He's known as a satanic ringleader who sacrifices children and animals at dinner parties.
In case you don't know, that's not red paint.
Using a large petroleum-drenched star, which the artist lit on fire at the start of her performance. Standing outside of the star, Abramovic cut her nails, toenails, and hair.
In fact, Jay-Z has been seen wearing a sweatshirt that promotes Satanism. The sweatshirt says, "Do as thou wilt." The saying, "do as thou wilt," actually comes from a book written by Aleister Crowley, who was the most wicked, evil, and demonic man on the planet. In fact, Aleister Crowley was literally getting kicked out of Freemasonic organizations because he was too evil, and Jay-Z is endorsing this man.
Mr. Crowley has been instrumental throughout music for before I was born. Led Zeppelin, the Beatles. Beyond hip-hop, but just music in general. He's had a big influence on the culture. There's a lot of great artists that, are the building blocks for even hip-hop. He's the wickedest man alive, right? That's what he's very wicked, man.
Your playing career, you were closely connected to Jay-Z and Rockaware.
Throwing up the rock sign, right? I showed y'all a picture with Jay-Z having the rock sign just like that, right? Them Freemasons.
What was your relationship with Jay-Z and the whole Rockefeller deal? And how do you view that time and Jay-Z now?
I viewed it was a great opportunity for me because at that time, Reebok wasn't messing with me. Nike wasn't messing with me. I was kind of like the black sheep of the NFL as much as in Kansas City. So it became a deal where I had a clothing store and we were selling Rockaware. And then I just gotten closer just by chance of, meeting Dame Dash first. And he signed me under his athletic label, Team Rock. And then that's how I met Jay-Z. So now after Jay-Z and Dame split, I went with Jay to be with Rockaware. And then I signed a deal for S. Darter cleats when he had his cleat and I wore his cleats. I mean, it was a good business situation because who wasn't a fan of Jay-Z in the late 90s, early 2000s? Everybody pretty much was. But now So we had to part ways because of it was an image problem. Now that I shut myself down and was gone out of the media for like 5 or 6 years, I came back and started digging and found out who he really is and why he says the thing that he says and who his allegiance is with. And I don't have any beef with him, but because of my strength and spirit and strength with the word, we happen to be, budding frenemies or enemies. And that's just the way it is. I have nothing against him, but what he stands for, I see much more than just, raps on lyrics.
Basically saying Jay-Z works for the dark side, he's on the light side.
In my time at Rockaware, it was truly a blessing and a learning experience. And I got to see things that I'd never seen before. But now, because I had those experiences, now I'm able to shed a deeper light because I've been around them before. So my words now, when I'm standing in truth, are ringing louder than I would at my time for Rockaware because I stand for something completely different now.
Now, this man has on a Yahuwah hat. If you read his hat, that's what it says. So I'm assuming he's Christian.
What do you think Jay-Z stands for now?
Well, it's obviously they've been controlled by Satanism. I mean, I'm not really scared to say that. We all know Luciferians, Freemasons, and all occult knowledge that was drugged up from Egypt have now surfaced itself in American society. And if you actually dig through the raps, like as I have, before it was all about partying, popping bottles. But when you listen to it again with a new ear, obviously they're not serving the same most high God that I am. And that's what makes us enemies, that I stand for a completely different doctrine, a completely different nation, and a completely different truth than he does. I don't have any materialism attached to my spirit or soul anymore. I don't have fornication attached to my spirit anymore. I mean, I just got engaged July. So my life is completely different from how I was with women in the early 2000s. And I think that is the difference in itself of being evolved with Rockaware has made me see something completely different, and knowing who his allegiance is with is not the Most High God.
I think the Illuminati is a real thing, and I believe that there's a real group behind the scenes that's pulling strings.
And is this group somehow connected with the devil?
I believe so.
So they're basically Satan worshipers.
Yeah, I mean, even if we were to say not in the Hail Satan type of way, I would say that the result of the strings that they're pulling, the fruit from the trees that they planted, the seeds that they planted, will show that their work is of the devil.
You know how, you see Jay-Z, people accuse him of being with the Illuminati. When certain people look at a Jay-Z, well, he didn't really get there on his own. He made there because he made a deal with the devil. And I'm not going to do that. That's why I'm not accomplished myself. Do you think there's a certain degree of that?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. You got Oprah. Nobody said Oprah was a devil worshiper. Michael Jordan, Russell Simmons, 50 Cent, Master P. You have too many black people that came before him. That got money. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's an excuse, really. You're not the only black millionaire. Now, if we go to your lyrics, you do say a lot of blasphemy. You use a lot of blasphemy. You disrespect the Lord an awful lot. So you give an account for your words. Don't say, oh, it's because I'm black. Say it's because I call myself Black Jesus, and I say Lucifer, and I say no church in the wild, and I say that might have something to do with it too.
So you think that Jay-Z is down with the Illuminati?
If anything, I would say a puppet. I mean, if we say that they run the industry, then when you come up under that industry, I don't know. I don't want to make definites, but I do. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying?
Jay-Z sort of rebuffed the idea that he was a member of these secret organizations. He says, "Am I down with the devil because my roof come up missing? Is that Lucifer juice in that 2 cup he's sipping? That's Duce, baby. Welcome to the dark side." Sort of speaking to this idea, success is being linked to membership in some secret organization as opposed to what everyone else is successful for. Hard work and luck and sweat and all those other things.
Remember that thing they said they had to give up somebody very close to them? That you got to sacrifice somebody?
That's my next shit.
Look at everybody. Look, Jay-Z, his nephew.
Yeah.
My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed. You understand? You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. None of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want. Right. They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name.
Right? Like, you could be an independent guy, putting work in, and get to a point where you're good enough for them to purchase your soul.
All right, I'm going to throw some names out there.
Yeah.
Shoot. I'm going to throw some names. Jay-Z.
You said
Jay-Z.
So. See this?
when you see this, 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 when you see the checkerboards on the floor, when you see the signs and symbolism, when you slow down the music, Jay-Z new video with Nas and DJ Khaled, it's a scene where it's checkerboards. So when I see Jay-Z go, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? You're not no gang member. You got checkerboard floors in your shit. You got skull and bones. What does this mean? Because it's not just there. Jay-Z said it in multiple songs, him selling his soul. It be in codes.
My man Jay-Z here. Hey yo, brothers can beg and borrow, still feel sorrow with Jay-Z like sorrow. Get in that ass, better luck tomorrow.
On February 15th, 1999, Big L was gunned down in the streets in Harlem where he was shot 9 times to the face. Before the rapper died, he was supposed to sign to Dame Dash and Jay-Z at Rockefeller Records for a solo deal. Well, singer Jag Wright has a theory that Jay-Z and possibly had something to do with his death, allegedly.
Deadly combination. Tupac and Big L. He even shouted that camel face out. And I'm here to confess. I met L. I met Lamont when I was 14. He was cute. L's only 3 years older than me. He was 17. I was 14 old. I never met a man who had such soft lips and hard rhymes. But I'm gonna put you out on Front Street. I know you didn't know about me and L's personal relationship, but I know you know L, and I know how close you was with L. I do not believe in my heart of heart that you don't know that this nigga was responsible for moving L around. Sean Carter, I believe everything that Big L ever told me. He never lied to me. Lamont never lied to me. And the last time I was with him, he told me that you was gonna try to kill him. And he told me not to trust you. And he told me to watch out for you. And he told me that your greatest sin is coveting, Sean Carter. You're a coveter. I have no doubt in my mind that it was you that sent the shooter to shoot Beanie as soon as he got home. His mother was so terrified. We had to show it to TLA. I was there. The second time, because the first time we couldn't do it because you sent shooters to shoot this man. And not to kill him, they shot him in his lung. So it would make it twice as hard for him to be able to perform effectively. I'm sick and tired of you, Sean. You keep telling the truth about your monkey ass. You, Sean Carter. L told me you was going to try to kill him. And I believe you done it. Show me. Let's go to court. I want to tell the judge everything Big L told me to fuck about you. You covetous monkey. I'm going to tell everybody about Big L, Sean. Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive. And you don't know everything that L told me about you. Please sue me. I want to go to court. I want to tell everybody in the world all the things that Big L told me about you when I was fucking him. If I go to court, I got to swear on the Bible to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And I believe in the God that they say that it's all about, so I'm not going to lie. And then I get to say all of those things that I haven't said on court record in front of a judge, which could open up other investigations into other things, which is why y'all niggas want me killed. Sue me, please.
Not many people have a firsthand account of what this man is doing and what he's about to do.
In 21 years, I have never had anything to say about Mr. Sean Carter other than the fact that we had a pleasant working relationship and he was an excellent businessman. The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
that
dopest.
Was the sensei.
One of the dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. He starts clienteling with Tupac and clienteling with Biggie and doing songs with Biggie and building a working, camaraderie with Honeycombs and AKA Diddy. The fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z, and then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game and it's all Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly and they were making so many records together. They both fucked Aaliyah. They shared so much in common.
I could have put up movies, I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it and said, yeah, Jay's hanging out. When Jay and them was in there doing Best of Both Worlds, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. No. You can't tell me, you won't sit here and tell me that working on that album, that he ain't never seen a 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cipher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down.
Yeah.
It's wrong. I've been around R. Kelly, and I pay for that, brother. I've been on a tour with him. It didn't last too long, but I've been around him. I didn't see no 14-year-old, but I talked to the man, and I've seen there's a little problem there. The brother needs help, and I pray for him. But if I sit there and did an album about women with him, I'm definitely maybe indulgent. He had to be indulgent for 14-year-olds, man. That's what I'm saying. What I'm here for the people, man. I'm here to talk the truth.
She ain't know no better. Jay-Z started fucking her when she was 14, 15 years old, made her feel like she was queen of the world, and then he got rid of her fucking ass when he couldn't control her.
New album should be coming up soon. Work with her. Yeah.
You guys work pretty well together.
Yeah. It's that male female, you know what I mean, point of view though. You just that our point of view is so strong that it has to be, you can't be ignored, you know what I mean? It's like an ordinary point of view. It's like very controversial. You know, you got to speak about it. So it's cool. It's cool.
So you guys get along pretty well?
Yeah. Fox is she's a baby, but she listens to me, you know what I mean? She's tough, you know what I mean? She's a brat. But she listens to me, so it's cool, you know what I mean? Baby girl, she's good. She's cool people.
At what age was Foxy Brown signed?
I don't fucking know. I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown.
Yeah, but that's...
I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I know you didn't. I'm just asking the question.
Because I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody.
You the boss.
I wasn't. Oh, now I'm the boss.
I've always given you the credit as a boss.
What I'm saying is, bro, I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I'm just asking.
What do I got to do with Foxy Brown?
That's why I said it's a whole separate related question, Dave.
What do I have to do with Foxy Brown?
Because the first time I ever heard of Foxy Brown...
Dame got something to do with it? Don't beat around the bush. Say what you want to say.
Just asking.
What do you mean by that question?
I was just asking.
What are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating. I just asked the question.
Why you bring that up? What happened with Foxy Brown?
Only reason why I brought that up because, again, we were talking about R. Kelly, and Dame was taking his stance like, I don't condone fuck shit and staying solid. And then, you know, at the time, people were talking about him being in the Fiesta video. And I was like, yo, let's not sit around and not act like there wasn't young girls that, you know, were in the hip hop community and stuff like that. And I just from a fan, I was like, my understanding, Foxy got signed at like 15, 16 years old. And the first time I had heard of her was on the Ain't No Nigga record. This all speculation and rumors. We don't know if it's true, but I'm talking about as a fan outside looking in. And that's why I had Dame in front of me. I was like, how old was she when y'all was in the studio? Was anything going on? And if he would have just said no, I'm just like, there's probably 5, 10 other artists and females that are around that were teenagers. That's why I said there's cats now that the reason why ain't nobody speaking up because everybody been condoning this bullshit in hip hop and film and television and sports. There's young teenage girls around grown ass fucking men all the time.
Yeah.
Quote me. Like I see and it has to stop.
I agree.
Like I don't care if you're a billionaire now. I don't care if you married now. Like if we gonna call out everybody we calling out, then everybody got to come to the table. If you fucked a 15-year-old, I don't care who you are. My thing, and I was just because Dame was sitting there acting like he was holier than thou, and you know, I was like, yo, if we gonna sit here and throw these stones in this glass house, like, we can't do that. Like again, it's not our job to just start canceling motherfuckers because we cancel everybody's canceled. That was the point I was making at that stage. And that was even before I had even knew all of the other sick shit that R. Kelly was doing. I was just asking a question and we were talking about being solid. That was the whole thing. And I was like, well, if you wasn't fucking with him, I know you had to see some other shit. Where was your solid line? Where was you? All right, I'll roll with that, but I won't roll with that. That's all I was acting. This selective outrage that we all have that, oh, fuck him, but not fuck him. Or like, that's all I was saying. So
But if you go be mad at R. Kelly, you got to be mad at Jay-Z. Foxy Brown said Jay-Z was putting that harsh on her when she was 15, 16. She said the man got a harsh. That's what that little girl said. She said Jay-Z got a harsh, and he was putting that harsh on us when we were 15, 16. This is normal behavior in the black culture.
Brown came out and said that Jay-Z was fucking her with a horse dick when she was 15 years old. Foxy Brown, it is wrote in the Source magazine, if I remember correctly. Foxy Brown said Jay-Z was fucking.
My name wasn't Foxy Brown. I didn't have a name.
I just needed a person who can take that position that, you know, girl versus guy call and response, because that's what it is. It's just a fun girl versus guy type of thing.
And Jay was like, come on, can you do this record? We got to do this record. We only got one chance. We got one chance to do it. And I'm like, okay.
A 16-year-old girl did it, you know, which is odd, but, you know, like I said, we grow up fast.
He was like, okay, why don't we just talk about real life? And I was like, give me 20 minutes. He was like, what? I was like, give me 20 minutes. He was like, you're so arrogant. I was like, lock me in a room, give me 20 minutes. But wait, give me a Sprite and a piece of pie, and I'll go in the next room. You've been sinning since I've been playing with Barbie and Kenan? What? I heard that line, and that made me just go crazy. I was just like, oh, he's trying to assassinate me on this record. That Dallin, I raised you, basically made you into a dumb. Wait. That's not something that a 15-year-old should know about. A 15-year-old should not be knowing about commissary and riding shotgun and putting the gun in a Chanel bag. Like, that was just unheard of.
Evidence that Aaliyah's death was planned is starting to stack up, and it looks like Aaliyah could finally get her justice, and fans want to see this case reopened in 2023. Aaliyah's star power was undeniable, and if she was still here, a lot of today's R&B singers wouldn't stand a chance. The official story is that the plane carrying Aaliyah and 8 other people crashed because it was overloaded. However, most of Aaliyah's fans have never accepted this narrative because a lot of things simply don't add up, and new evidence is now starting to emerge that Aaliyah's death was not accidental.
Kill her! And that's what I've been saying. They kill her!
It's Hype Williams because his name gets brought up over and over again when it comes to Aaliyah's suspicious death.
But what I was really more tight about was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet and that Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that. So you could ask Hype about that.
That's what I said. Have you ever talked to Hype about it?
Yeah.
And how did that conversation go?
Ask him.
Hype Williams was strangely silent on Aaliyah's death, and he refused to talk about what happened in the Bahamas. But it's still unclear why Hype Williams insisted they shoot the video in the Bahamas when they had already started filming with a green screen in Miami. Because even if he wanted to shoot additional scenes on a real beach, doesn't Miami have enough beaches? It just doesn't make sense. On top of that, Damon later said that Jay-Z knew R. Kelly abused Aaliyah, and yet he still decided to record a joint album with Kelly, which was released less than a year after Aaliyah died.
And the karma happens, but the thing I didn't understand is I was like, I know I'm not fucking with that. And because of the moral challenge and him choosing one way, I knew morally we weren't the same. So to me, Rockefeller was defunct. It was over. I couldn't fuck with it. It was something that to me was just like, not to say unforgivable, but I couldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't understand how people didn't, I thought, well, the people aren't gonna have that. But nobody said nothing.
So as you can see, there are so many weird and suspicious things about Aaliyah's death. And to this day, most of Aaliyah's fans are convinced her death was planned.
Oh, we're gonna wait 15 years later and just come out the blue and start calling people. I'm gonna say that I have whatever was that. It was horrible.
Yeah. I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. Like, I don't give a fuck if you wanted to get away from your homie, if you wanted to get away from your partner. But to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. By the way, wasn't this all around the time when Aaliyah died?
Yeah.
And Beyonce's solo career was struggling? They were having a hard time taking her solo, and then Aaliyah died. You have to start asking yourself questions after being in this business for this long. If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some motherfuckers keep getting? Is it really a conspiracy if the same person keeps benefiting off the same kind of tragedy over and over?
And I remember right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me, and I knew that was gonna be my coming out night.
Now listen to what Beyonce says in her solo song Diva that came out the same year her and Jay got married. And what was the cause of Aaliyah's death? A plane crash because she had too much passengers and luggage on her plane. Shortly after Aaliyah's death, Beyonce gets casted to co-star in Austin Powers' movie Goldmember.
A trail of tears for Aaliyah. A horse-drawn carriage carried the fallen star's casket through the streets of New York. Member the R&B princess, Aaliyah. Aaliyah's boyfriend, Damon Dash. Fellow hip-hop honcho, Sean Puffy Combs. Hip-hop artist Jay-Z. His fans cheered as her casket was carried down the church steps. Then, 22 white doves, one for each year of Aaliyah's short life, were released into the air, who lived with grace and goodness. Aaliyah left this world like a princess.
The pilot was on drugs and different things like that. So, you know, we just really never knew, but we always kind of felt, a lot of us kind of felt that, you know, it was eerie, quite mysterious. Jaguar is going full throttle with this one.
It's only been mentioned in a few documentaries is that the reason why she was in such a rush to leave the island was because someone had called her and told her that Damon Dash had been in a nearly fatal accident and he was on his deathbed and she had to rush to Miami to be by his side. That's how much she loved him and she was willing to put her life on the line for it. If somebody called me and told me that my husband was about to die, I would do whatever I got to do to get there. And from what I was also told from other people that was on the shoot, packing all that luggage on the plane wasn't her idea either. She was told because the rap, you know, the video had rapped that all of their belongings had to leave right then, that she couldn't leave them behind, that nothing, they had to take everything with them, knowing that there was already almost 1,000 pounds worth of human on that plane and then like 800 pounds of luggage. They said, well, if you got to go right now, you got to take all your stuff with you right now. Dame, in the interview that he had done, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, he said he never sent that phone call to summons her to Miami. He never had his assistant call her for any reason, and he wasn't even in Miami. Aaliyah got a phone call that the love of her life was about to die in Miami, and he wasn't even in Miami. And Fatima, the choreographer, heard that phone call because she mentioned it too in an interview, and she never mentioned it again. She got a phone call from a person that wasn't real about a situation that had never happened, being summoned to a place where her fiance was not, and forced to leave with all of her belongings if she left right there, which would put the plane in danger. I don't know, but where I come from, that sounds like a setup. Like the pilot was a crackhead, a former crackhead, and even he, the crackhead, didn't want to go along with it, but he was told that he had to because he was under contract. Somebody went through a lot of trouble to make sure that that girl got on that plane and that plane. But I'll be damned, there's a lot of people that benefited from Aaliyah being gone. A lot of people made it that wouldn't have made it if Aaliyah was still around. And I'm not so big on the idea of conspiracy theories, but typically the way I see things is if you want to know who the masterminds are behind something, all you have to see is the person who benefits the greatest. That's the person that has the most motive to make sure people get moved around, the person that has the most to gain.
When one of the hosts asked him to open up about where he actually was when Aaliyah took off, he revealed that she felt uncomfortable with boarding the plane in the first place. According to him, Aaliyah literally said, "I don't like that plane." He insisted that she stay off of it, and according to him, if he was in the Bahamas on August 25th, 2001, none of this would have ever happened. "There is no chance that if I was there, we would have been on that plane," he said. Fighting back tears, Dame added, "I would have made sure that that jet that was supposed to be for her, she would have been on that. But you know, everything happens for a reason, and what doesn't kill you makes you strong."
The pilot was found to be drugged along with the actress. The taxi driver, Kinsley Rosso, stated,
Russell claims Aaliyah had repeatedly refused to board the plane, so she was given a sleeping pill after telling her team that she had a headache and wanted to take a nap. The singer then fell asleep in the back of the taxi and was carried onto the plane while unconscious. It stated that it was, however, not clear as to whether the singer knew that the pill she had been offered was a sleeping pill and not something to treat a headache.
When she actually was saw the plane, she, we had the Blackberries, and she said, "I don't like this plane." And I was like, "Well, don't get on it." And she was like, "Well, I got to because I got work to do."
An interview with Dame Dash. He said Aaliyah didn't want to get on that plane. Lenny Kravitz offered her a private jet to take instead. Hype Williams took the jet instead of her and had her take that little plane that ended up crashing. Well, former Black Round Record associate Ayatollah Marv revealed that Williams did receive a big reward after the star's alleged accident.
When Aaliyah dies, I was with Barry when Aaliyah died for a wrongful death. He got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV? Sue me. I ain't got nothing. So I was with him on the negotiation.
Another big name, Jay-Z, is rumored to be involved in the case. At that time, Jay-Z was single and was actively trying to pursue Aaliyah, knowing she was engaged with Damon. In her ex-fiance's words, he tried very hard. I did not know Jay was trying to holla at her, but then it just happened like that. He was trying. I was trying. Everybody was trying. He was going hard. This is where Beyonce comes into the picture. In an interview in Paris, Aaliyah said, "One day I will travel to Egypt. I will be there, where Cleopatra and the pharaohs lived. Unfortunately, I can't meet them anymore. If I had a time machine, I would visit ancient Egypt. Who knows? Perhaps Cleopatra and I would become very good friends. At least I would have a live experience of that ancient culture, which I only know from books." Well, guess what happened next? Beyonce plays the role of Cleopatra in Dreamgirls. The strongest evidence in the case is Aaliyah's nightmare, where she was telling about how she was flying weightless and feeling endangered, as if someone was coming after her. She described the dream like, "It's dark in my favorite dream. Someone is after me. Don't know why. I got scared. Then suddenly I lift off. I fly away. Far away. How do I feel now? It is like swimming in the air, free and without any weight. No one can reach me. No one can touch me. It's a wonderful feeling." After her dream, she was terrified, and then she met her death in the worst way possible.
Fuck you, Sean. You know, I ain't simple like his wife, and neither was Aaliyah. I guess that's why he had her killed.
Ugh.
You killed that young woman. Who the fuck else would have known better how to have someone posing as Dame Dash's personal assistant call Aaliyah so strategically and tell her she needed to rush to the hospital in Miami because Dame was on his deathbed. Dame wasn't nowhere near Miami and he ain't have no assistant call Aaliyah. Who the fuck else would have known that other than his closest ally, his best fucking friend, the nigga that was fucking her before him? Prove me wrong, sue me, or kill me.
My God Almighty, I call heaven and earth to be a record today. That Rock Nation, you will crumble. I am an apostle of God.
That's right.
And you will know who I am.
That's right.
You have kids. God is watching all of you.
I got some names that I want to call. And the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men. And you're still doing it. See, I am a father of thousands around the world. I'm a father of my kids, but a spiritual father to many. And I don't make stupid allegations because I got nothing better to do. You all have been bartering and trading the souls of young black and brown men in this country. And I'm calling on all the umbrellas. I'm calling on everybody in this country to begin to rise up because your sons have been done dirty. It's not over. God does not lose. Trust me, you will see that our God does not fail.
This is not the
I know that this is wickedness, and they do dirty to do whatever they can. Jay-Z, let me speak to you.
He has kids.
Rock Nation! Yes. Because my son refused to sign a Rock Nation deal with you.
I don't discredit everything that Tory Lanez dad said.
Me, not at all.
By the way.
Not at all.
He
said,
was
yo,
dropping
they
a
caught
lot
the
of little...
I get a call from Rock Nation that says, "Yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement."
Did Tory Lanez just expose Jay-Z of pulling some strings behind the scenes to send Tory to jail?
Y'all don't understand what the fuck is going on? Y'all don't understand I just cracked the fucking industry? No more middlemen. All y'all artists out there, fuck your label. Fuck the nigga that's telling you, yo, you gotta wait for this day on Spotify and on this. Fuck that. Y'all gonna get paid, and your fans gonna get paid, and they gonna keep coming to you. Why? Cause y'all making money together. This the digital trap house. Welcome, niggas. You're fucking welcome. You understand why I'm going so crazy? I can't believe I did this shit my fucking self. This may not make sense to niggas like y'all. Some of y'all niggas, it hasn't registered yet. It hasn't got there yet. It hasn't got there. Y'all niggas like, yo, why is he screaming? Understand. Look into it. Do your research, nigga. This is revolutionary, nigga. This is history in the fucking making. You know what I'm saying? And I sat there and I wondered for a long time, yo, how am I get back, bro? They took every single avenue away from me. They took the playlisting away from me. They took every single thing they could take away from me. And you know what I said, bro? I sat there, I said, you know what? Praying. I immediately went to praying. The first thing I prayed, and I said, God, show me a way. Show me something that's different. Show me, when the world is standing against me, show me a different way. And God told me he was going to bless me 1,000 times over. And one day I'm all praying, and it gets to this standpoint where I'm like, yo, like God just starts speaking through me, and he's telling me, and I'm praying with my man E, and I'm like, and God's speaking through me, he's just like, y'all are about to step into something that you can't even fathom the blessings of. And at the time, I didn't understand it. I said, I'm not going to question it. I'm just have my faith. Every time they try to stop me, I just kept praying. I just kept going. Y'all not understanding what's going on. Let me fully explain this to you. $1 for the NFTs, right? I sold these shits to my fans for $1. People came. Some people bought 20. One of those copies right now is going for 50,000, 60,000. And these are sold. They're sold. Go look at the list right now.
I made a video about John Jones selling his soul to the devil. It's 28 minutes long, exclusively on my Patreon. Another great video on the Patreon is 26 minutes long about how the vampires are 100% real. If you would like to support my channel, join my Patreon for only $5 for exclusive documentaries you won't find on YouTube. Link will be in the description.
Please subscribe with notifications on.